Well, hey there, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's Nancy Fox, Fractional Connections. How are you? Oh, we've got some guests today. Welcome, welcome. So happy to have you. We're moving into the first part of our holiday season, and it's almost Thanksgiving. So if I haven't already given you a very warm holiday wish, I want to wish everybody a really great Thanksgiving as we move into that. So today we're going to be talking about thought leadership. And I'm really excited to talk about this topic with you because I want to first of all create a distinction about what thought leadership is. And then I want to tell you why I think it's so important in today's era. So first of all, as I begin, if you're with me, just give me a wave. Say that you're with me, that you can hear me, that the sound is good, that the video is good, and that you can. I see a few guests. Just give me a wave and say, send me some love and let me know that you're with me. Okay, I got some people in the chat here. Very good. Excellent. Perfect. Okay, so thanks, Diane. I appreciate that. So thought leadership. So, we are living in an era of celebrity and influencers, and everybody hears about all these people who are making gazillions of dollars on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all that. This is not about that. This is not about celebrity. This is not about having gazillions of followers for the sake of being famous and having your moment in the sun. This is not about that. Now, I'm not saying that being an influencer doesn't turn into pretty extensive and pretty appreciable kinds of income for folks who do that. But thought leadership is quite different. So first of all, let me paint the distinction. Thought leadership is all about educating, is about attracting people to you because they believe that you have something of value for them, that you can teach them, that you can show them, and that you can make a difference for them in their lives. And that's what I really love about the whole thought leadership mechanism, that it's an experience, it's a process, and it's an activity. And I like all of that because it really draws the right people to us, and that we can actually make a difference. And that's what I think is so powerful about the notion and the concept of becoming a thought leader. So today, the title of today is How to Become a Thought Leader in 60 Days. And the reason I gave you that title was not to entice you to sell you stuff, but actually to share my experience and my journey with you, and then give you the essential elements that we need to have and to utilize when we want to become thought leaders. Now, I really believe that all of us are thought leaders in one or more areas in our lives because we know stuff. We have gained experience. We've gained personal and professional knowledge, and so we are thought leaders in many ways. But if you want to become a thought leader in a particular area, in a particular way, then we need some strategies. And what happened for me, and I've built I've become a thought leader in several niche markets, not because I wanted to be the thought leader, but because I knew that thought leadership was really essential, was very meaningful if I wanted to have the right audience to make a difference with. So I've done this in the past. My first thought leadership approach was in the area of pharmaceuticals. It was one of my first niche markets that I started working in when I became a coach. And then later on in professional services, in law and accounting, and now today with fractional executives and interim executives. And I just want to share with you that I did not work in any of those industries at all, except as I did become a fractional executive with clients in the past, but I didn't even know that that's what it was. We didn't have that term yet, right? So my direct experience really came from, I'm going to share with you how I actually created these areas of expertise and how you can do it too. But it does take some strategy and some application, and I'll go into that with you. But I want to really share with you that the power of it is so meaningful if you really want to attract the right people to you, and it makes a difference because it distinguishes you in the marketplace. For me, thought leadership is all about distinguishing yourself and teaching and making an impact in a way that's valuable for people. So it's not about the celebrity and numbers of followers, although that does often come with it. Okay, so what my journey, my most recent journey in thought leadership was, I was really looking for a new niche market after the pandemic, I was looking for a new niche market to really, to work with. And I had several, and that's a whole course in and of itself about how to pick the right niche, right? But I did find that fractional executives was a growing, high promise niche area. And I really did a lot of research around it and I chose LinkedIn as my platform of choice. Now, in the past, I've used other platforms to gain thought leadership. I've used Facebook, I've used Instagram, but LinkedIn was really underutilized from my own standpoint. I was on there for a long time, but I wasn't utilizing it to its most advantageous in its most advantageous way. And LinkedIn has changed a lot over the years. Since Microsoft bought them, they've added so many features and all of that. But there were a lot of things that you needed to do to really be able to leverage LinkedIn as a vehicle to gain thought leadership. So I began probably back in April, getting pretty serious about it. And I started doing I did a lot of research, I did a lot of posting, and a number of the posts went sort of viral. Although that wasn't the objective to go viral. The objective was to start to gain some visibility and credibility in that particular niche market. And within 60 days of a very consistent just posting, reaching out, commenting, and having others comment on my posts, 60 days later, just about 60 days, I started getting people reaching out to me. So the outbound then became inbound. And people started saying to me, we've heard that you are a person that we should be speaking with if we want to learn more about fractional leadership, becoming a fractional executive. And people started booking calls with me to learn more about me and also to have discovery calls with me about their business, their fractional executive business. So it took about 60 days. So now I want to break down. And by the way, if you have questions, just save them for the end. I promise I'm going to get to all of them. And if you have others after today's session is over, no worries, because I'm going to be answering your questions, and I'm probably going to be creating a separate training out of this. So I'm eager to learn what you want to learn more about regarding thought leadership. So let me give you the 5 essentials, the elements that you must have to become a very recognized and sought after. And that's the key. When you're sought after in your thought leadership, that's when you know that you have started to gain traction. So let me give you the 5 elements that you must have. So the first piece is you've got to really identify the right niche, and you've got to have in-depth knowledge about that niche. So a niche it could be an arena that you already know and you have experience in, and that's fine. If you come from the sports world and you have, if you are a specialist in soccer or in soccer coaching, and that's your arena, great. Then that can become your niche market. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that something you already know, although it's a great start, right? In my case, none of the niche markets that I focused on were areas that I grew up in. So I had to start from scratch. So it could be something that you already know, or it's something that you want to transfer your skills into. So for example, in my corporate career, I had a lot of skills that I didn't know that I had that I could transfer. One of them was I had done a lot of speaking to audiences in my past career. Now I was just speaking to new audiences, right? And also I had a lot of training and development in leadership, so I could transfer those skills into other arenas, other niche markets. And as I started to gain knowledge and experience and effectiveness in networking, I could transfer the networking skills from the pharmaceuticals industry to accounting, to law, and now into fractional executives, right? So these are transferable skills. And then the other way that you can start to really gain traction with a niche is to research it deeply. Sometimes you want to get into a niche market and you don't have experience in it. You can't transfer any skills in it, but if you research it deeply, you can gain a lot of traction. My perfect example is working with lawyers. First of all, in my former career, I didn't have any sales experience at all. In fact, I was not good at it. I learned it. And secondly, I didn't know anything about being a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, and lawyers tend to always want to hire other lawyers to do all of their training. But with the right research and the right recognition about how to speak to lawyers and how to understand their dilemmas, and I'm going to go into that in a moment, it became a niche that I became pretty integrated into and very successful in. Okay, so the first element is niche knowledge, and the second one is relevance. So you have to be relevant to your audience. Now, what I mean is, it can't be just that you talk about relevant topics. That's important, but they need to feel as though what you are speaking about, what you're sharing about, is just for them, that you really get them. And getting them is sort of an intangible, right? You know when you feel gotten. That is what you have to develop. The ability to let your niche market, your audience know that you get them. You get them intimately. You get them from their point of view, not from your point of view. A lot of times I see a lot of fractional executives posting on LinkedIn and other places about how wonderful fractional executives are for their business and all that. But you're speaking to entrepreneurs from your side of the fence, not from theirs. You have to really get them and let them know that you get their dilemmas. And convincing them about how great fractional executives are is not the way to actually demonstrate that you get them. You need to really let people know, let your audience know that you get them intimately, that what you're going to be sharing about is exactly ideal for them. And that develops a bond with your audience. That develops the feeling that they have around you. So it's not just how smart you are, how accurate you are. There's a feeling they get about you. And the feeling that they get about you separates you from all the other people that are working in the same arena, in the same niche. The feeling that they get about you, that you get them. And that's where know, like, and trust begins to be built. And that's how you can build it much faster. Okay, so that's the second one, relevance. Oh, by the way, I also want to share that one of the ways that I really recommend to my clients that they start to truly, at the core level, understand the pain points of their clients is with a method that I call the 10 migraine headaches method. And we really dig pretty deep into the psyche, into the experiential arenas of their ideal clients, their niche markets, because we really want to, the more emotional the pain point, the more painful it is, the more you demonstrate that you understand those deepest pains of your clients, the more they're going to feel that you get them. So the 10 migraine headaches method is one that really helps you dig very deep to demonstrate to your potential clients that you are special for them, that you get them, and that you're the right candidate for them. Okay, number 3 is presenting a magnetic vision, a beautiful vision, painting the picture for people, painting a future for them that if they work with you, if they follow you, if they listen to you, if they read what you write, that they're going to have an opportunity to create a success path that is really enticing, that what you demonstrate for them is the future that they're looking for. And so painting that successful vision for them is really part of the equation of becoming a thought leader. Because again, as a leader, you're demonstrating that you have a guide, you're guiding them, that you have a pathway in mind for them. And that through this vision, they get to see you as the leader, that they want to now, they're choosing to follow you, and you become distinctive in their minds. Number 4 is you have to have some unique tools and some ways to package these tools. You have to give them some unique solutions. So look, the truth is that there's really nothing new under the sun. There's always, pretty much everything that we've got has been done in some way before. But you can find your own way of demonstrating solutions and tools for your clients, and thinking about it, how, if you start to find unique ways to present these tools or new steps the order of the way you present them to people, or even the way you package them for people in different kinds of containers, whether it be live, whether it be online, whether it be in courses, whether it be in workshopping, whether it be in blogging, whatever way that you provide content for people or direction for people, you get to choose, but you need to give them unique solutions in a way that they can really relate to these solutions, and that they feel that this is something unique for them. I'll give you an example. There are many, many, many gurus out there helping people improve the way their financial lives progress, right? There's so many different people to tell you how to fix your money issues and how to get back on track with your money. There's so many gurus, so many people you could be following. But Dave Ramsey, if you look him up, he's done a brilliant job of distinguishing himself. He's really sort of a hardcore, nuts and bolts, no nonsense, tells the truth, tells it like it is, very simplistic kind of educator and thought leader, helping people get their money issues back on track. He's really simple about it. But there are so many. How did he happen to? He's not very glitzy. He's not a marketing magician, but he just got really, really defined about it, and he packaged his solutions extremely simply. And that's another thing. When you become a thought leader, you want to be very simple. The more complex, the more esoteric you become, the harder it is for people to follow you. So you want to be really simple in your communication. People have said, and the more content that's out there, the simpler we need to become. I read somewhere that I think you need to start communicating with people like on a third grade reading level. That is how simplistic we need to be. The more big words that we use with people, we sort of lose them. So because their attention span is very limited, so you really want to be very simple. Unique methods, unique tools, the way you package them, and you need to provide people with solutions. So you'll notice that when I post, I mix it up. Sometimes I'm writing more of a thought leadership general concept piece. Sometimes I'm doing a training, and sometimes I'm listing things. But for the most part, I like to include some solutions for people in almost every post that I do. And the fifth and final element in becoming a thought leader, and this one is where people fall off the wagon a lot, and that is consistency, frequency, so that you gain visibility. That consistency, I posted every single day for 60 days. Most people give up. I notice this a lot. People they really get on the wagon, and they post, pretty consistently 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a week. And they will, they'll do this maybe, and they're very committed about it. And they do it for about 30 days, and then they're gone. Then you don't see them anymore, right? Because it doesn't happen in 30 days. And maybe it doesn't even happen in 60. For me, it happened to happen in 60 days. But what if it took 90 days? I would not have given up because I believed in this direction. And that's the thing. You have to believe in your direction and be committed to it and stick with it consistently, so that eventually all of a sudden people start to say, God, I've seen you everywhere. You're everywhere. I'm not really everywhere, but enough times of seeing things that I'm writing, that I'm sharing, that I'm following, that I'm commenting on. And it's not just my own content, it's other people's content. They're seeing me because the word is spreading. So when the word starts to spread, and by the way, a lot of people are following you and they're not saying anything. They're quiet. We call them the lurkers. They're aware of you, but they're just not saying anything. They're not even liking your posts, but they are there and they're becoming aware of you. And so you will know that your thought leadership has started to take hold when people start reaching out to you and saying, I read this that you wrote today and it really made a difference for me in this way. Or they're reaching out to have a networking meeting with you, or they're asking to connect with you instead of you asking to connect with them. Not that it matters who asks, but it's a good feedback mechanism. So you'll know when they start asking you. I will tell you that thought leadership in the right niche market, before this particular initiative, reaching out to people to connect with them was a 30 to 40% shot. But now it's 100%. Almost every single, 99.9, how about that? 99.9% of the people that I will request to connect with will say yes, because thought leadership has been building. But I'm now getting a lot of people requesting to connect with me. A lot of people are following me, and I'm following everyone that follows me. I follow them back, and it starts to build. Okay, so just to say something about following. So let me just create one more. I want to remind you that just reiterate actually, is to say that thought leadership is about teaching, informing, supporting, educating, making a difference. And influencing is about celebrity and recognition. So there's the distinction. And thought leadership is really a wonderful process to engage yourself in, an effort, a strategy, because it really allows you to be distinct in a very noisy world, and at the same time make a difference. And when you start to gain this thought leadership, people will start responding to you. They will start commenting. They will start reaching out to you, and that is how you turn thought leadership into really a strong business initiative, because people will start to reach out to you for calls. They'll start to want to learn more about what you have for them, how you can help them, and it becomes a really great. It becomes a magnet instead of the push method. It's the pull method. All right, you guys. So that's it for me. Anybody have any questions or feedback about thought leadership for me this morning? Anybody have any questions? It's very quiet out there in the peanut gallery. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be posting this video on my LinkedIn page. And I'm going to start to do some tip sheets and some checklists on thought leadership. And if you have any questions or comments about thought leadership that you would like to learn more about, dig more deeply into, I would love to hear that from you so that I can include it. So William's asking, how do you select a niche when you might have a few? That is my number. That's always where I begin with clients, William. And that is, I think you may have missed it, but I said that that's literally a separate course. And it is a foundational course. I agree. It is so essential. I always say that we need to start with the who. In the past, I used to say, well, it's a chicken and the egg thing. It could be the who, or it could be the what. And over time, I've come to realize that it is really it really needs to be, let's start with the who. So that's a whole separate training. And it's a great question, but I promise I'm going to get into it. Anybody else have, I'm glad, Diane, that you found this beneficial. Who's going to go out there and go test out some of these tools and these methods? Give me a high five on that. Okay, great. Awesome. All right, I'm going to post this. Excellent, excellent. All right, guys. And next week we have a special guest. We've got a couple of things I want to announce before I sign off today. Number one, if you haven't already registered for our next virtual speed networking event on December 8th, please go to www.fractionals.ai/networking and join us. It's going to be our last one of the year, and it's going to be a wonderful one. So make sure you do that. I've got a big announcement coming up. And so definitely want to join us. We've got a lot of new people joining us, as well as some familiar faces. And also next month, I'm going to be rolling out a very special training. And I'm going to be doing a 5-day micro workshop, one micro workshop a day. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be announcing a lot of that. It will be in, I think it's going to start the second week of December. And it's going to be, it's going to encompass a lot of the things that I've been teaching you in these weekly Monday lives, but it's going to be also some very new information that you're not going to want to miss. All right, you guys, have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for being with me.